Welcome back to yet another video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create this stunning lead generation insurance landing page literally from scratch inside the Gohighlevel account. I'm going to design this, build this, and I'm going to show you how to do that so that you can do it for your business too, right? In case you're thinking about who am I to teach you about landing pages, funnels, websites inside Gohighlevel. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Pritam. I run a Gohighlevel funnel website design agency. We build marketing funnels, websites, landing pages, copyright design, and all of that stuff inside Gohighlevel. That's our forte basically. In case you want to learn more about it and want to hire us for our projects, just go to pritam.com. And in case you haven't started with Gohighlevel yet and want to explore about the bonuses that we provide to our affiliates, then make sure that you go to bonus.pritam.com to learn more about it. And then in case you want to buy our templates, then go to template shop, ghltemplate.shop.com, right? All the links are in the description. But yeah, without a further ado, let's get into this so that I can actually share with you on how to create this stunning, simple, yet attractive, high converting lead generation landing page so that you can use it for your own business step by step, exactly from scratch, right? The first thing is, of course, you need to have a Gohighlevel account. In case you haven't, make sure you sign up with our affiliate link. That really helps us. In case you already have it, then the first thing that you need to do is create a funnel and then create a page, right? I'm going to show you exactly as the interface of the entire Gohighlevel builder. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing so that even if you are just getting started, then that is going to be very helpful for you. So this video is for beginners, by the way, right? So let me show you, right, everything around here, right? The first things first, right, what you will see here is you'll see a back option. Basically means this is going to take you back to the website builder or to the interface where it's going to show you all the pages and funnels and landing pages and all that, right? And here you have something called as preview. In case when you are done with something and you want to see it as to how it looks on a live landing page, that's exactly where you click it, so that is going to preview the changes that you have made. This is basically save it, so make sure you all the time save it. A lot of time has happened that, hey, guess what, I have tried to do something and then I forgot to save it, and then guess what, all my work, effort, and everything is all gone because I didn't save it. And publish is when you need to connect a domain, so you can connect a domain from here and then you can publish it, right? The best part about this is even when your site is being worked out at the back end, still people can see the live site of it, right? But if you're not publishing it, then all the backend changes will not come basically on the front live page. So that's the good part actually, right? Then comes these icons yet, and these are very very important icons. You should know about it, right? In case you already know, just skip the video where I'm actually teaching to build it so that you just can get it, right? First thing is add elements, right? Here exactly you can add sections, you can add rows. You'll be able to see that I'm adding it literally from scratch, so it's going to be helpful for you as well. You can add elements, super important. We're going to use all these elements for our benefit. Then we're going to add global sections, right? I do not have a global section, but I can create one in case I need to. Then I can add section templates. I have a few already created, but hey, guess what, you can always create yourself. Then you have buttons. These are pre-made buttons, but hey, guess what, when you're working with me, I'm going to design everything from scratch, so you're going to see how we design custom made buttons. Then you have social media icons in case if you need to use it. Then you have images, something that came up recently, so this is great. Then you can add images of different types, right? And then you have something called as progress bar in case you want to add progress bars. That's what you got, right? Then you have something called as layers. Layers shows that, hey, it's the page should have X, Y, and Z. Currently it's not showing anything because it's a blank and empty canvas, so don't have anything there. And then comes the pop-up, right, so that you can add anything to it. I generally recommend adding forms, surveys, and calendars on the pop-up. It just makes the entire interface very neat, clean, and user friendly. Apart from that, you also have tracking code in case you're running Facebook ads, Google ads. You want to add tag manager, Facebook, and codes and all of that, right? You can add it on the header as well as on the footer depending on what your ads expert says. Apart from that, you can also add custom CSS in case you want to build this. We're going to use a bit of CSS, which is like hardly a line of code, but hey, guess what, I'm going to show you how to add that as well. After that, you can use typography, right? You can use different kind of, basically it's suppose all kind of Google fonts, so you can see all kinds of Google font in there and just add it whatever you feel like is going to be the best option for you. Same goes for content font, text color, and link color. These are all default options. You can change it from here so that it just gets applied everywhere on the landing page. Then you have something called as background. You can add a background image. Basically means that this will no more be a white canvas transparent landing canvas. It will have a image of its own, and then you have the background color as white. It can be anything else, for example, orange and all that if you want to, right? Then you have pop-up settings in case you want to have a pop-up. That's exactly where you add it. SEO metadata, so you can add SEO things here, which is pretty friendly. You should always do it in case you're creating websites and landing pages. So just do it. Preview custom code, in case you have a custom code you want to preview it live, you can just do it here. Then you can add cookies here in case you want to enable cookie consent banner, so that's something you can do it. And this is called two column mode auto. We don't need it as of now, so that's perfectly fine. Then we have, this is desktop mode and this is the mobile mode. So on the next video, I'm going to show you how to create it in mobile mode. But for now, you can learn it in the desktop mode for this particular video, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Is the version. So basically, when you're trying to save every single time, that you're going to create versions of it, so that in future you can always see the version and get back to it in case you want to, which is very friendly. Actually, it's very friendly, right? Then you have undo, redo options, and then you have show settings, right? Basically element settings, right? So every element you choose, it's going to have its own setting. So it's pretty amazing, pretty cool. So without a further ado, let's get started and let's start creating the slide. So this is the site that we're trying to clone. This is build my bee for my clients, of course, and then we're going to just recreate this. This is for a practical project. So let's go ahead and let's recreate this template. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to add element and then we go to sections, right? This is exactly where we add our logo, right? We're going to add a column here which is showed as blue color. So all sections are green color in nature. As you can see, everything is green here. When you see something blue, which is called as a column, right? It is a it's normally is a one row column. You can add a multiple row column. So for example, you can add one row, two row, three row, four row, five, six, you name it, you can add it, right? For example, you can add something like this, right? Which basically means that it's going to have one row, but then the columns are going to get multiplied. So anything that is in this pinkish violetish color is called as row, and then you can add an orange element, which is going to be, let's say, a headline, something like that. But for now, we want to add an image so that we can add our logo. So I'm going to add an image, right? And that image, one thing is that optimize image load. I do not want to optimize my image load because all my images are already optimized, because I always go to compress PNG or compress JPG, right? So you can also use PNG, GIF, PDF, and you can upload your files from here and then compress it and then upload it on a landing page. This is a best practice, and make sure that you all are following it. Otherwise, the page speed will get hampered or the quality will get hampered, because if you're uploading huge MB files like 5 MB, 2 MB, 3 MBs, that's going to obviously hamper the page load speeds, because it has to load all the images, high images. Otherwise, if you turn on this feature, which is optimized image load, then it's going to give you a bad output because it is compressing them, making them a bit jittery, or I would say pixelated, right? So I'm going to turn that off because all my work is already optimized. So I'm going to add that image. So I probably have this here. I have this here. So I'm going to add it, and it might look on too much on the face, but I'm going to adjust that and just see how we adjust it, right? So first things first, we're going to make sure that the width here is almost, I don't know how much, 100, probably a bit more, 140. Right. The second thing is it has some default padding to it. Can you see? There is some padding on top, on bottom, like literally everywhere. So to make sure that everything is zero here, right? As much as we can, right? And just want to make sure everything is zero. Since this is going to be left aligned, I want to make sure that all its alignment. Can you see here? It has desktop alignment, it has mobile alignment. So that's a pretty good thing from Gohighlevel. But for now, we're going to use desktop alignment, and now it's centered aligned. We can make it right aligned, we can make it left aligned, and we'll keep it on the left aligned. Now, one thing you can see here is too much of space inside the section. So these are spaces that come as default. So what you want to do here is you want to make sure that these are reduced to make sure that it looks good from the visual point of view. So you're going to make sure that this is, let's say, 10, and let's say this is also 10. Apart from that, you also have this column which has its own 15 pixel default. So I'm going to make it, let's say, I don't know, 5, and the other one also as 5, right? So this just reduces the space, right, and just makes it look very nice and organized. But the logo looks a bit it's quite bigger actually. So instead of that, I'm going to make sure that I adjust the height. So let me adjust the height and make sure this is just 75 pixel. I think that just looks much better. Now this section just looks really good. I'm going to make sure this is, let's say, 8 is perfect. Okay, let's make it 5. Right. Perfection is what I love. Okay, apart from that, now we're going to create again a full width section, because now we're going to create this section where we hold the hero section, right? Now we call this a hero section. Do you know why we call this a hero section? Because this is what people see when they come on the landing page. This is what is going to make or break the deal, to be honest, right? For example, if I take it to 100%, this is what you see on the desktop mode. If I take it to the mobile mode, then it's going to be anything above the fold, right? So anything that is above the fold is the hero section. This plays a majority role in what I'll say in whether the visitor is going to take action on your landing page. It can be, the action can be, hey, they want to explore more, they're going to scroll down, they're going to click here, they're going to have a pop-up come up, they're going to click here, they're going to go to a sales page, whatever it is, right? They will make a decision based on what they see here. If they like it, they'll stay there. If they do not like it, they'll go away. This is why it's called a hero section, and it is very crucial. So you want to make sure that this looks, not only looks stunning, it's very clear, it's attractive, it's well branded, it shows what they are getting, the value proposition, it shows that what they are getting rid of, which is the pain point, it shows it has a clear call to action. It also should have trust building capabilities, which is ratings, testimonials, and all of that. Everything packed in a place that just makes it look nice, trustable, and worthy enough of people's time so they can scroll and look further and see if they want to proceed further or not. This is what I mean by that, right? Okay. One thing that you will be able to notice that we have corners like these, and then we have the white thing that continues on the entire site. So basically this looks like a section which is stored inside the entire landing page section, right? The way to do is very nice. I'm just going to show you how to do it, right? uh, Let me just make sure that I don't squeeze things up, right? Okay, so the way to do it is very simple. First of all, I'm going to take this color branding. I'm just going to, I like this. It's a monotone color, right? By a monotone color, I mean this has only one color. There is no gradient or something like that, but it still looks really nice, clean, and pretty, right? Businesses around the world charge thousands of dollars for these kind of landing pages, website, and programs, and we only charge a few $1,000s for this, right? So in case you're interested and we want to work together, you already have a business and you're looking to hire a funnel designer, website designer, just get in touch with us. We'll be really happy to work with you, right? But yeah, so that's pretty much how is it. So the first thing that I'm doing here is I'm adding a border. Now the reason why I'm adding a full border is I want to make sure the edges are being cornered, right? Now, if you see something like these are called as corner radius, right? But you can increase, decrease, and change it and make it look, much more a round circle or a much more squarish on the corner, right? So it all depends. For that, you need to have a full border. So I've added a full border. I've added a transparent bordering because I don't really care about what the color of the border is going to be. Eventually, it's going to be just white. Then I'm going to add the border radius of, let's say, 15 pixel. Did you see the difference? It got cornered, right? So I'm going to probably just, instead of making 15, I'm going to make it like 10. 10 should be good. Let's make it 10. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a one row, two column structure. Now you must be asking that why I'm doing this, right? It's very easy to understand that this is one section, or I would say one part, and this is another part, right? And in this part, you have multiple layers of text, headlines, pain points, or solutions, buttons, testimonials, and all of that, which basically means that this is another column. So this part is one column, this part is another column, and these two columns are inside one row. So you have to understand that in web design, in websites and landing pages, anything on the web, right? It's a collection of boxes under boxes, inside boxes, connected with boxes. Everything is eventually is a conglomeration of multiple boxes tweaked into one another on top of each other or beside each other. That's exactly how it is, right? So that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to add a one row, two column structure. And now you can see we have two purple boxes. which basically means that this is one row and one column. This is the one row and the another column, right? Now, we're going to add multiple text variants. So it's going to be a text size of this, and then there's going to be something like this, something like this, and this and that, right? So now I'm going to explain you what a hero section is and why it is so important. All right. Now this is a very detailed video, guys. In case you don't have really time and looking for a 15-minute video, they're going to show you everything from scratch. Then probably it's not the best video. But if you really want to learn something from somebody who has been doing this for many years, has wide range of design, sales, marketing experience, then you should watch this video till the end. So uh, this is what we call as the hero image, right? If you remember, I told this section is called the hero section, and this is called the hero image. Hero image is what attracts people. It gives them the visual representation so that they can relate to it. Now, what is a visual representation? Which means that, hey, if I am looking to have a debt-free future, and I want to make sure that my family members are happy, I am happy in my future, that I should see that on the landing page, right? Because that's exactly where I will be able to relate to it, right? I want to see my problems, I want to see what I'm looking for so that I can relate to it instantly. I don't want any random image, right? I want something which is very purposefully driven and added on the landing page, which directly connects with me, my problems, my aspirations, and that's exactly how you hook people up, right? If you see this, this shows, if I just have to show you this, right? This shows a happy family with kids, with couple, right? And they just look very happy, right? You probably are not really happy when you are deep down I mean deep down into depth, and that's something that's not going to help you out in any way. You probably are not going to be this happy at all, and not your spouse, not your kids. Probably kids are also asking you things which you can't give because of the depth, of course. But when you see something like this, you also wish from your heart, I wish my family would have been also this cheerful, this happy. And the way to do it is to get out of debt. Now, one more thing that you will be able to see is adding this icon, whether it's making money, making debt free, paying your mortgage, whatever it is, right? We're going to add icons and elements that enhances the look and feel and gives them slight indication in the mind. You won't be instantly be able to tell, but your mind will pick these things up. Now, these are very important in terms of psychology of how somebody sees things, and you have to understand this. You cannot just add. I've seen many big websites just randomly are adding things, but they do not really are focusing on the UI aspect of it, which is super important, or the UX aspect of it, basically. Okay, so this is, I hope this part is clear, right? Because if I just show it to you, you probably would have been able to see that they are happy. They are probably they're successful in their own personal life. Their spouse is happy. Their children are happy. They probably have some wealth. They probably have their own home and all of that. This is the emotions we're trying to trigger. Now, this section is all about creating and showcasing them who is this for, whether and what is the value proposition, and then the headlines to support the value proposition, giving them a very clear call to action and building trust and credibility on the hero section itself. A lot of things combined into one. That's what I'm going to show you. The first thing is the ratings, right? In case you have ratings, must add this because it just build trust and credibility upfront, right? That's point one. Point two is you show the value proposition in a very clutter free, minimum word manner. Again, let me repeat that. We want to make sure that the value proposition of the main headline is clutter free, minimum word manner, which basically means that this should directly talk to the visitor. Transform your financial future with debt free navigator. If you are looking to transform your financial future, whatever it can be a mortgage loan, it can be a personal loan, it can be a business loan, it can be X, Y, and Z. If you're looking to transform your financial future with a debt-free navigator, and people are going to get curious, what exactly is debt-free navigator? Well, that's exactly is the pitch, that exactly is the product, right? Then this is for you. That creates curiosity. Then people go and learn this, which is the summit line. Pay off all debts, including your mortgage, in 10 years or less without extra spending. People are going to get curious how, right? No restrict budgeting. People might be thinking, okay, if I have to do it in 10 years or less, I probably have to live like a beggar, right? I probably will not be spending anything. I probably will not be living my life or giving anything to my kids or what they want. And I won't be able to go to vacations and enjoy myself. And the weekends, I will walk, X, Y, and Z, right? That's exactly what we are saying. No strict budgeting over time, consolidation, or refinancing required, right? Because when we're going to showcasing all the pain points and we're letting them know all this is not needed. This is the importance of sub headline that supports the main headline, right? And then you have this button which is secure my spot. It just builds credibility, at the same time build scarcity. Secure my spot now, because hey, the word secure shows that it can go away any single time or any point of time, so you want to make sure that you add it. Then comes a beautiful testimonial from this person who's probably an aged man, probably has already his home, happy family, probably grandkids, right? So thanks for the debt-free navigator. I paid all my debts including my mortgage in just 8 years without any extra spending. Jason from California. Build trust, credibility, a good short testimonial from the person and location is what is important, right? So this is what is the hero section. I hope I was able to help you understand that. Let's build that out and then I'm going to explain you further on the entire landing page, guys. Okay, so let me first add the image here. Again, I'm going to add an image, right? I'm just going to make sure that the image has zero padding here. So kudos to the team that they have already added these kind of pre-built spacing. So I just really like it. I'm just going to click here and here and here and I'm all done. So I really like that. I'm going to close the optimized page load speed because I've already, all my work is already optimized. So let me add that. I think it looks pretty. Right, now we're going to add something which is this one. For that, I'm going to add an element and I'm going to use something called as paragraphs, right? Because I don't really want to add a lot of uh, heavy text. So that's all I need, right? And then I'm going to add it on the left hand side. I want to make sure, okay, this is 14 is good. But as you can see, even though it is color white, it's still showing black. Probably have to add it on the bold color white. Exactly. The second thing that's going to be is going to be this headline, which is transform your financial future with the debt-free navigator. Now this has to be a headline, so I'm going to use an headline. I'm also going to make sure that the fonts, okay, sorry, the fonts here, which is the typography, is Poppins. I just like Poppins, so I'm going to use Poppins here, and the same goes for the content font as well. So just use it. Okay, no, I think Montserrat is better, so just keep it there. And here I'm going to add transform your financial future. So this, let's say we keep this at 41 and we make it left aligned, right? Okay, looks good. One thing I'm going to add is, so let's say I want to add is this code, right? This is a very simple code, right? The only importance of this code is that um, even when something is not bold, so for example here you can have colors which are normal colors and then bold colors, right? So at this point of time, even if you use this and let's say this is gray, this is gray at the moment because it's bold, and then if I use this and then if I unbold it, it's going to be black because I'm using this code, right? It's a one line of code which is h1 bracket starts font weight 700 important bracket close. That's it, a very simple code. So I'm going to use that, and for that I'm just going to use this colors too. So I'm going to use these colors. So I'm just going to use this color, right? And here I'm going to make it white. Perfect, looks good. I'm also going to add some spacing here. So probably a 10 pixel spacing should be good. Then I'm going to add these subheadlines, right? Which is pay all your debt, including a mortgage, in 10 years or less without extra spending. So I'm going to add that here. So for this, you're going to use something called as subheadlines. Okay. Now you can also use something called as, um, sorry, something called as bullet list, but I've seen bullet list not working very well in the mobile version. So this, from experience, I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to add this one. Sorry, just take myself on the top here there. So here is going to be a correct icon, so a circle icon. All right, perfect. I'm going to make sure this is left aligned, and then I'm going to make sure this is I don't know what is the length of it. Font details, it's 18 pixels. So I'm going to make sure this is 18 pixels, right? And then basically just copying it to make it look good. So this is going to be white. The icon color here is going to be light, and then the bold color here is also going to be white. Okay, sound looks good, sounds good. I'm just gonna make sure that this is a 10 pixel spacing. I want to add a similar thing here because I want to add, hey, don't need to be restricted with your budget and all of that. So okay, looks good for now. Like it's very relatable. Looks very simple. Let me just see which font is this. This font is okay. This is also popping. Right. Okay, looks good. Let me just make it pop-ins too. Perfect. Okay, looks good. Now we need to add the buttons. So let's add the buttons here. Very simple. Just search it. You have the buttons there, right? Buttons should be on the left hand side, right? And then we need to may add some spacing on top of it. So we can add some spacing here, right? Now you can see here that this button, it has a hover effect to it. It says secure my spot. It has a tick button, and it also has a border which is of a lighter color. A lot of things to take care in mind when you're creating the button. So we won't be using any kind of default button. Rather, when you are with me, you're going to use something that I do, which is create my own color sheets. So let me just add it here. Let me just check which color it is. This is this green color. I really like this green colors, by the way. It just looks so pretty. So I'm going to use it. So color combination and the way you choose colors is also super important. So branding really plays a lot. I have a lot of clients who work with me who are like, hey, I do not know what colors to use, I guess. And I say that, hey, that's the best thing I can hear because I can now suggest you some color branding which is going to be suitable for you because you probably are not a branding expert. You probably do not see 1,000 websites to review on a monthly basis. So you probably can get some benefit from my services. Right. So I just say that to my clients because and they really appreciate it because hey, they're not an expert. They want to hire an expert. I want to work with one. So that's really what they're looking for. But anyway, when you add correct here, so this is the correct icon, and then this is white. I'm gonna add, hey, secure my spot now. So I'm gonna add here, sorry, secure my spot now. Awesome, looks good. But I just want to make sure that this is uh, not 2018. First of all, let's make it from 40 to let's make it 30. I think 30 should be good. Right? And I also want to make sure that this is bold. So from normal, I'll to make it bold. Okay, sorry, this font weight. Yeah, looks good to me. Now I'm going to add this testimonial. Now the way you added this, by the way, I don't have any kind of hover effect. So when I hover on this, I do not see anything. So I need to add hover effects to it. The best part about Gohighlevel is they have recently added animation. Wow, awesome. So now I can add 10 different animations to it, but I'll go at the end and I'm going to add hover animations. And I'm just going to add this elevate option. So when I hover on this, it just elevates. As simple as that. We don't want to overdo things, right? The more experience you get, the more you realize that, hey, these are little subtle things that makes bigger difference. So you really don't want to overdo anything. You just want to make it as simple, as neat, clean, and professional as possible. All right. But anyways, so and then I want to make sure this is has something called as what is this called? Image slider? No. That's called image feature, right? Something like that. Call this image feature because it has a featured image and it has sections for me to add things, add stuff, right? So first thing is I'm going to add this, which is going to be testimonial. So this section is going to be testimonial. I know it doesn't look good, but don't worry about it. I'm going to handle that like a pro. Okay, so don't worry about it. Don't worry. You are in safe hands. First things first, let's change the color. It just looks so awkward. So because I want to make sure it's white. Second thing, I want to make sure that it's not bold anymore. Let's not make it bold, right? Third thing, I want to make sure that the text font is bold, right? Fourth, I want to make sure that this is not 24 or this is 16. And this is 16 is good. Perfect. Oh, spacing is also good. But yes, let's make it like that. Okay, now I want to add the image. So let me just grab the image. Where is the image? Okay, this is image options as you can see here on the right hand side. Now I'm going to grab the image of the person who gave the testimonial. Here you go. Now this is a rectangular image, but we can make it circular and we can also add that white circle around it. The reason why I added a white circle around it, first, it looks neater, cleaner because the dark background is black. It's dark. If I do not add it, it's going to get a bit messy. So it's very hard to define the edges on that. So you need to be very detailed on these. So image border is going to be white and then it's going to be circle. Perfect. I think it just looks so pretty. Now I just want to have 20 pixel of spacing on that so it just doesn't clutter anywhere. One more thing I probably have is I want to add some more spacing here, which is going to be a 20 pixel spacing. And I think we're good. I think we're good. I think it just looks so good. One thing I can do here is I can just add a bit of negative spacing here, right? It just takes down a lot of things. And then I want to add here 30 pixel, right? It just makes sure it just center line. So that's just that's just one way to do it. Because hey, as you can see here, the box here is a bit lowered and the kid's head are coming on the top. It just gives us a visual representation of things, of the text being on the top and the image being on the down, but actually it does not, but it just looks, it just, I mean, you just see this. That's how it looks. So that's okay. That is how things look. But you need to see as to how you can rectify that. But yeah, so with negative margin you can rectify that. So this is what it looks and this is how it is. So kind of very similar. I guess they are using a bolder version, so I can just use that. But anyways, this is how it looks on 100%. I think it looks perfect, beautiful and amazing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure that this is now bold as well. Perfect. I think it looks good. No, I think it's okay without bold. This looks good, right? Awesome. Now the next thing I'm going to add here is these trusted by thousand people. You don't need it, by the way, for this insurance because the projection here is for direct end consumers. But hey, you can just add it if you want to. Just you know, I mean, in any landing page is always a good practice. So a lot of my clients and people who watch my videos ask me, Pritam, what are the best practices? These are the best practices. So always use things that just amplifies your spot or your credibility on the page. That's all. You need to come up being a very credible person so that it just looks really good, right? So then here the color is going to be dark and here the color is going to be light. So now if I make it this and if I change it, okay, probably just want to change this here as well. Just a minute. So the reason why it didn't work is very simple. We just have the CSS for H1. So I think it is going to have work for this as well. I don't know. Let me just use it. Yep, it just worked. So for this, nah, let's not use this. Rather, let's use it differently. So that should just work. So just use it. Just make it H1. That's all. Sorry about that. All right, because I don't want to interfere here with the code. I'm not a coder anyway, but I know my way out, so I'm just going to use that. How much is it? 23. Let's make it 23. I'll make it center line and just make it unbold it. Perfect. Now what you want to do here is you want to add like 6 columns, and then you're going to personally add, I mean, by personally, I mean just add one by one images, right? Now these are just of course, as you can see here, these are not real ones. These are just placeholders. I just want to add that for the video purposes, right? But yeah, you need to add things which just build trust and credibility, and just one of these, right? So add it here, add it here, just copy it here. The reason why I'm copying it because so that I don't have to click on elements again and get another image and all of that. Okay, add another image here. Oops, I forgot to duplicate it here. So just add on the image, duplicate, duplicate, There was the easier version of it as well. I just forgot to do it, but anyways, it's done. So let's just keep it. There's too much of spacing. Whenever there's too much spacing, just reduce spacing as much as you can. It just looks good. Uh, that's all. That's all. Leave it. Leave it that way, and then let's go ahead and build more things. Yeah, again, too much of spacing everywhere. So just want to make sure this is mm, all zero. I don't want too much of spacing at all, so that's fine. Okay, awesome. Guys, now we are working on the second section here. Right, second section is super important because we are kind of now want to share, hey, that who am I, what I'm doing, and who is this session for, right? So we're going to add this section, super important. Now this was built like a template for our client, so just want to add that, which is, hey, wake up debt free and start your journey to financial freedom. And then you're going to introduce yourself, since this is going to be a landing page to generate leads for agents or insurance agents. So you basically want to add that. So this is done via a one row column structure, right? And then we're going to add the headlines here. And then we're going to add this, right? Hey, wake up and do this. But I just want to make sure that I know the font details where it's going to be 40 pop-ins. So when you have 40 as default, so you're going to add 40 pop-ins, and then we're going to add bold color. So one thing that I can do from here is background, typography, is this. No, this is going to be default everywhere, which is amazing, right? And now it's going to have green. So green is going to be for debt free and financial freedom. Now the reason why I'm using this is because just for these words is because I want to highlight it. I want to make sure that this gets highlighted. Sorry, right? Because if you want to highlight things, then using the same color but a lighter tone just gives a better look and feel to it. It just makes it look much more premium, right? Beautiful, right? Just sharing my experience nuggets that probably will be able to help you and save you years of hard work. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And now this is again a one row, 2 column section. One thing that you will be able to see is this kind of segregation. It's very, very light and subtle, but we still do it because it just makes it look much, much more nicer, and it just shows the effort that we have put in. And it actually has an impact as to how it looks. It looks much more segregated, much more organized, and better. If we will not add these back shadow, which is that very, very slight, it just doesn't look that great. So I like perfection, so I'm going to add that. And then I want to add an image here. Sorry, image. I have to spell that right. I want to get that. So let's get the image of the agent, which is again a mock-up at this point of time. So let's get that. Okay, awesome. Now what we want to do is we want to add these text that, hey, I am Angela and I've been teaching families how to get rid of their debt using improvement strategy favored by wealthy. And in this one-on-one session, you will discover X, Y, and Z. So basically, you're sharing the benefits of them getting on a call with you. So that's super important. So for that, I'm just going to add paragraphs here. This is going to be left aligned, and now I'm just going to check whether what's the font size. The font size is Poppins and this is 18, so I'm going to make sure that this is 18, which is color. This section will discover. Okay, now I want to have the same circle, so I'm going to add an arrow option, and then I want to add this button. See this button? I want to copy that. I'm going to add it here. Let me just drag it down, and here you go. A lot of my viewers have said, "Hey, it looks very nice. You navigating the clunky builder." I was like, okay, only when you get a experience this, it's going to be easier for you. So if you're new to this, don't worry about it. Just focus on learning it. In case you're a business and you're not looking to really master it, and you want to hire people, you actually whatever you want to do with it. But yeah, let's focus on the spacing. Spacing is too much. We don't want spacing. So of course, there's some default spacing in there. We're going to make sure that we reduce it so it looks nicer and it looks beautiful, right? That goes the second section, which is third section basically, because the third one was this, second one was the trusted logos, third one this, and the fourth one is very important, which is hey, click on this button and register a call with me. So I'm going to show you the benefits too. So for that, I'm going to add another section here. And this section, as you can see here, this has a border to it, and this has nothing here. Basically, this is another section, right? So I'm going to add a border to it, and this border is going to be only the top border. 2 pixel is fine. I'm going to press here. I think it looks great. So now it's going to be what possible with depth-free navigator. So now I'm just going to drag this copy and paste thing. I could have just duplicated the first section. That would have been just far, far better. I think I'm just doing the mistake. So to make sure it's easy for me, I'm going to just duplicate it, and then I'm going to make changes on these ones. So I'm going to make sure this is top border and this is the same color. And now I'm going to add here what's possible with the depth-free navigator. Now here there's no spacing, so I want to add like 40 pixels there, and then I'm going to highlight the depth-free navigator. It's just how it works, right? Just makes it look beautiful. Now I want to show that hey, you can beat debt, you can master money, you can strengthen the relationship, you can achieve security, you can retire comfortably, you can eliminate stress, you can boost income, you can give radically when you have a lot of money and you're secure and you're all set in your life. That's exactly when you uh, create sections. I'm gonna add and create how many are these? These are 4 by 4. So I'm gonna add a 4 by 4 section, and then I want to add these colors. Can you see that they're not really white? They're a bit of gray with a gray border, green, I would say greenish icon, and what they are getting, and a short explanation of that. It just fulfills everything, right? So in case they have any doubt, they will be able to read that and understand it better. So for that, I'm going to grab this color, I'm going to add that here, and then I want to add this here. So this is going to be this color. It's already added. Oops, sorry for that. And now I'm going to add other border as well. So now I'm going to add the full border. It won't be this, it won't be only 1 pixels, and now it can be just 5. That's all we need at this moment. Now we need the image, we need the main text which actually shows what they are getting benefit from and explanation of that text. So now we're going to add an image. As always, image, this image is probably going to be 70 by 70. Let's make it left aligned with a 20 pixel padding to it. Sorry, 0 padding to it, 20 pixel margin to it. Right, let's exclude all the paddings from here so we don't really have any kind of issues in there. Now here we are going to add um, these icons, which is going to be this icon. All right, and then I'm going to add, let me just check one thing. Okay, they're probably not 20 pixels, so I'm going to add and make it 10 pixels just to make it look nicer. And then I'm going to add this headline, which is going to be depth. And here it's just going to be paragraphs here. So I'm going to add that here. Oops, sorry. I'm going to add that here. Sorry. Let me just duplicate it and add it here. Because I want to add margins. I don't want to add paddings there. It's very simple. Right. It's as simple as that. And this has to be left aligned. And I'll make it duplicate. I want to make it be temp. Okay. Now it has these typography. I don't want them, right? I don't want the, so I want it, and I want it all caps. So for that, I just want to go to text transform, which is on the advanced version. And then I want to make sure this is capitalized. That's all. Oh, for some reason it didn't work. Uppercase. Sorry, yeah, uppercase. And can probably make it bold, but I won't. Just need it as of now. So I just want to make sure this is 10 pixels with spacing, and this is also has a 10 pixel of spacing, right? The total spacing inside it can also be 10 pixels here. Sorry, 20 pixels there, and then it can be 20 pixels here. That's all you need for this thing. As you can see here, uh, become a debt free. This is the headline, or this is the basically explanation of that. So yeah, that's all. That's how you create a beautiful, easy to understand section here, or basically a column. And now your job is to just duplicate them 4 times and delete the rest of these columns, right? And since they are touched with each other, I want to add some padding on each one of them on the left hand side, so that they are equally distributed and they look nicer and segregated as well. That's how I do it. I'm not going to add all of these. Just this is just going to be an example. So, and then now I'm going to duplicate it, because hey, you've already done the hard work, so you don't really have to add too much of details to it every single time, right? And now it's done. So I'm going to delete this section which we don't need anymore, right? And now you have this section which basically shows you all the benefits. Take control of a session now. Let me just add that here as well. Okay. Let me just add that. Okay. Let me just, since I'm doing it, let me just do it here too. Okay. One thing is that I want the heading of the, I want the, this should be 16 rather, right? All of these should be 16. So just add them as 16. And here, add them as 18. So we can see some hierarchy, typographical hierarchy, which is super important for us for make differentiation, right? So it's super important on that fact as well. So we have master money, strength relationship. So, master money. Oops, it's probably the wrong image. But anyways, add that back. Okay, I need to upload it basically. Let me just upload that. Master money. And then you have strength and relationships. Let's add that. Awesome. And now let's add achieve security. Let's get that done as well. You want to make sure that all the subtext, which is the explanation of these, are also added. One more thing that you will realize here is that the moment you do it, you can see they are not in the same line. I mean, you understand this when you're working on it, right? And then you're like, hey, what happened? What's the issue? The thing you have to do here is select the column and go to content spacing. Here, you want to make sure these are left aligned. So all these columns need to be left aligned so that they are aligned to the top. It's basically top aligned. I don't know why they say this as left aligned, but yeah, that's what you need to do, right? So let's change these, extend the relationship so you have a relationship logo on there. So this is the Unity relationship achieve security. So you want to have a security logo there. Awesome. Now you can just duplicate it and use it for the yourself, right? Now, even if you add text here, right? So as you can see here, these are not left aligned. So let's make them left aligned. Make them left aligned. Now, if you continue to add text here, then also this column will continue to, would say elongate, but then it's not going to hamper anything, and all the content will still be on the top. I hope I was able to help you understand that because it's a super important concept, right? But yeah, that's the third or fourth section I would say, right? Now, which is the last section, is a proven concept debt-free navigator, which is our end product. So I'm going to use this one because it's very similar section, and then I'm going to add it. Awesome. We don't need this section by the way. So, but here what we need here is we need this is probably the last section too. So we only need border on the top section and we need the same color. But this time what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure that the border radius is 20 pixels and this is only on the top edge. That's all. It just looks nicer with this kind of a background. Now I want to add a proven concept depth-free navigator. Right, so I want to highlight the proven concept area. So this is what I want to highlight, right? Awesome. Let me just get that done. So here basically we are showcasing them the hey, some of the detailing of the debt-free navigator. We are showcasing that hey, how you go from paying checks to building wealth and some advantages that why you should use this tool, and then the final call to action with the button, right? So since I already had these kind of features, so I'm going to just swap out the columns here. Do you see that? You can just swap out things here. It just makes it look so nicer and better. And now here, I'm just going to add the images, which is important, right? Awesome. And now here, I'm just going to add, hey, a revolutionary financial strategy and proven, right? So with proven effectiveness, this is probably not going to be bold anymore and will have an icon of its own, and the icon should probably be of a lighter green color. So let me just add that and let me just check what is the font is 20 megapixel. How much are we using? We are 20. No, we're not using 20. So remove this. Okay, this is going to be more about hey, the Defi Navigator is a code product of Policy Pro CRM, which is basically our client. So we're just using that, and this is probably much lesser in terms of font with 16. Now the reason why we're using different font sizes is that we want to showcase what's more important. We don't want people to have the similar importance of this line with this line. We want to make sure that this is a bit inferior or people see this later on compared to this. So that's the reason why this is much larger. This is on the whiter screen, this is on the darker background. This is the entire concept of that. We want to make sure this is 16, right? And we don't really want the uh, check circle there, and we want it to be a bit darker. I'm going to go ahead and check the color of this one. It's darker there. I want to add the darker color here, and the way you add it is go to the background color and then just add the color here yourself, and there you have it. That's exactly how you're going to do all of these actions. I'm going to just duplicate and showcase to you so that it just becomes easier for you to do it, right? So that's how you basically just keep duplicating it and doing it. Duplicate, duplicate, and keep doing it, right? And that's how you do it. So let's go for the second one, which is achieve debt freedom in 10 years or less. and then you can use it. Our solution is there. Awesome. By the way, I'm going to show you the project we did for Policy Pro CRM. So a huge shout out to them. Amazing team to work with, right? They're definitely doing really great in terms of the insurance space. So I really like it. Like working with them as well. So yeah, it's the lead gen landing page that we are doing. We are working on at this point of time. I think it just looks stunning. So yeah, awesome. That's how you do it. A proven concept. Probably just a spacing issue. So just make sure that you have internal spacing, so which is what's called as margin. So you have the 40 pixels. There's also 40. It looks good. Right now you want to have another image, which is this one, which basically shows them, hey, from paycheck to building wealth. So I want to add another image there. So for that, I want to add another column, and the column will have, I want to duplicate it from here and basically add it directly here. And now I just want to add the image, and the image here is this one. All right. So basically, they had a magazine. So when we work with clients, we just want to make sure that we get as much resources as we can. And once we have those resources, then we just do our art and craft. I call it art and craft because it just. And then we're gonna have a final section, right? Since they're gonna run ads to this, so we just want to add this a color. So we're gonna add like a black color, and then we're gonna add a one row column, and in this one row column, we're gonna add this paragraph. This paragraph, we're gonna add the color as gray, and then add this. The side is not part of. Additionally, and then we are done. This is how the entire landing page looks. Let me preview this as I showed you first. Always save it, guys. I think I hardly saved it one or two times, but you should always save it after every single section that you're doing. And once you have saved, you can just preview it. And then once you preview it, it's going to show up the entire landing page that you just designed. I hope that you guys liked it. In case you want to learn how to do the mobile version of it, make sure that you wait for the next video, or if it's already published, then watch the next video there, because it is super important, because the mobile version is where most people are, right? This is where the entire audience is. Almost 70 to 80% of the audience is now going to be on the mobile version. So you probably want to make sure that you are mastering mobile part of it. I hope you guys like it. In case you have any kind of questions, write me in the comments. And please, if you liked it, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we're going to create more amazing tutorials just like this. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.